So we want you to understand that you can't measure from where you stand right now how long anything is going to take by how long it's been taking, because that was then and this is now, and because then you didn't know what you are knowing now. In other words, don't compare how long something will be. It is not about time. It's not about anything other than what you are doing with your vibrational alignment. It is simply what you are doing with your beliefs in relationship to your desires. When you desire something that you believe, there's no time between the vibrational accomplishment of it. But when you want something and you doubt it, there's as much time as you continue to doubt it. Sometimes people will say, well, how long will it take me to get from where I am to where I want to be? And we say, as long as it takes you to stop doubting and start believing. And they say, well, how long will that take? As long as it takes you to stop doubting and start believing. Well, how long does that take? Well, it takes as long as it takes for you to stop doubting and start believing. Well, how long does that take? And we say it's really a variable, but it has to do with how conditioned you are at focusing on what is, and how willing you are to focus upon the vibrational what is. As humans, most of you, we love you so much, but you give most of your attention to things that are occurring. In other words, you are reacting mostly to the circumstances around you. So most of your vibration is in reaction to what is. So if you're looking at something that pleases you, your reaction is one that is beneficial to you. But if you're looking at something that doesn't please you, then your vibrational reaction is something that is not beneficial to you. And you got to cut that out. You've got to stop just looking around by default, and then reacting to what you see and expecting any consistency in your vibration. You have to figure out how to be consistent in your vibration. You have to decide, and you have to practice, and you have to become good at, a master at, offering a vibration that feels good even when the condition hasn't changed. You have to stop letting your vibration be about what is. You have to begin to find a way to let your emotions travel down the path of how you want to feel. So how do you do that? How do you do that after you've been reacting to life so long? Your kids are so sweet this morning, and you just love them so much. So easy to love them. They were sleeping long. The sweet little faces when they're asleep. And then they wake up. And they start fighting with each other right away. And you can hear the drama and the trauma all around the house. And you put your head down on your desk and you think, kill me now. And now you feel different than you did about them when they were asleep. And that's not cool. Because you got to figure out how to be consistent without asking the conditions around you to change. Because you can't control the conditions around you. You know that if you've got kids. You cannot control the conditions around you. And the harder you try to control the conditions, the more you give up your life for something that never gets you anywhere. In other words, there's a way easier way to go about it. You can find a way to feel the way you want to feel regardless of the conditions. And that's what unconditional love is. That's what unconditional alignment is. That's what unconditional clarity is. That's what living in the sweet spot is. That's what practicing the art of allowing is. That's what being in the sweet spot and watching what feels to others like the magic of the universe swarming around you and providing for you this perfect ride. You are the creator of your own reality, which means you are the keeper of your own vibration, which means you are the focuser of your own thoughts. But the way you figure out how to focus your thoughts is by understanding that there is a relationship, a vibrational relationship between what you're thinking right now and what your inner being is thinking right now about the same thing that you're thinking about something right now. When you focus upon something, the whole of you is focused upon it too. And the whole of you has a perspective about what you're thinking about. So let's say you're focused upon something that is really causing you a feeling of irritation. The reason that you feel that feeling of irritation is because your inner being is focusing upon exactly the same thing from a different point of view. Your inner being is expecting good to come, and you, if you feel negative emotion, are not. The reason that you feel doubt, the reason that you feel any negative emotion is because your opinion right now is bogus. Or we can be kinder than that. Short-sighted or stupid. No, we can't. No. Your perspective right now is different than that of your inner beings. Now, we're playing with you. We don't want you to feel critical of yourself, and we certainly are not feeling critical of you, because you live in this time-space reality, and law of attraction is managing everything around you. So if you have some momentum going that is causing you to feel some negative emotion, you're not going to stop it all of a sudden, because law of attraction will not allow it. Whatever you've got going on vibrationally, the law of attraction is bringing you more of. So law of attraction works tremendously to your advantage and tremendously to your disadvantage, because it responds to whatever it is you've got active within you. But it also responds to whatever your inner being has going on actively too. For example, if life has caused you to want more prosperity, your inner being is focused upon that prosperity, and not just believing it, but knowing it absolutely. So as your inner being is focused upon the prosperity that you've carved out and asked for, if you're focused for some reason on some event that makes you feel shortage consciousness, then there's a vibrational variance right here, right now, on the same subject, because your inner being believes, knows your financial abundance, and right now you don't. And you're feeling the negative emotion that is evidence to you of how much your inner being believes. Do you like the way we said that? That's evidence of how much your inner being believes. It's also evidence of how much you don't believe, but that's not the part we want you to focus upon. We want you to focus upon how much your inner being believes in your autonomy, in your prosperity, in your ability to thrive on your own. Because each of you are extensions of source energy. And source energy is raining down around you and upon you and for you on your behalf blessings of indescribable proportion and nature. And if you're not realizing them fully, it means you've got some shortage consciousness going on in your point of view, which we understand why you would, because you've been looking at what is, looking at what is, looking at what is. Oh, things move forward so much more slowly than they need to. You could clean up your vibration and shorten that gap of manifestation. And we wish that for you. We don't want you to wait so long for something that it's hard to remember how much you want it. We don't want your desires to feel like disappointment to you. We want them to feel like the fresh idea that they felt like when they first occurred to you in the beginning. So, very briefly, we want to remind you that you were source energy before you came into this physical body. And even though a portion of your consciousness is projected here into the personality that you know as you, the larger part of you still remains non-physically focused and holds a vivid personal perspective of you and yours. So here you are in this physical body, doing what you came to, out here on the leading edge, sifting and sorting and coming to your personal important preferences about what you want. So you know what you don't want, and you know what you do want, and you know what you don't want, and you know what you do want, and you know what you do want, and you know what you don't want. And you're carving out of this contrasting experience your idea of how life would be better for you. And so you are creating, adding to this vibrational reality, and the source within you loves the ideas that you are sending forth and stands in the vibrational beingness of every evolutionary idea that you flow forth. So here's this vibrational version of you. It's so real, we wanted you to know that it is real. We gave it a name. We called it the Vortex. The Vortex of Creation. Wrote a whole book about it because we want you to come to understand and believe in this vibrational reality as much, no, even more than you believe in the reality that you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch. Because you got to know that life has caused you to create this. And it is a reality that your inner being knows and bees. So now we want to ask you a question. You have not heard us ask this question before because we have not asked it of you before. So since this vortex exists, and since your inner being is standing right in the middle of it, what do you think it feels like to your inner being to stand in the middle of what you've created? Proud, excited, exhilarated, interested, eager, and happy for you to begin your personal now realization of the details and the unfolding of what you've put together. Now, you can't even describe it very well because you've been putting pieces of it in there for such a long time. And you don't even realize how perfectly the pieces that you've been asking for all fit with one another. There is a reality that's been forming that when you allow it will surprise and delight you beyond our ability to describe it to you verbally. But it is gestating and it is growing, and law of attraction is responding to it. Can you feel that law of attraction is responding to it? And as it grows and becomes and matures and exists, can you sort of get a feeling of your relationship with it? Can you feel how, as it is growing and expanding and becoming, can you feel how you, in your personality, in your human personality, have a relationship with it? Are you looking forward to it? Are you eager about it? Are you looking forward to the realization of it? Can you find the feeling of it? So as you hang around in more good feeling vibrations, as you meditate more and quiet your mind and therefore release all resistant thought, as you make lists of appreciation, and as you get out more, as you spend more time outside, as you move your body more and you drink more water and you just get feeling better and spend more time with people that are nice to be with and do the things that make you feel good. Stop watching the news on television. Stop trying to solve the problems of the world. Just live in your own life and get to yourself a little more and allow your natural cork to float. It will if you won't hold it under the water. When you let go, right back up there where you belong in the good feeling vibration. So as you're doing more and more of that frequently, because you'll be in that vibrational vicinity of where your vortex is, ideas will flow from that vortex right into your head. You'll realize something. You'll get an idea about something. You'll say, oh, I know what I want. I know what I want. And when that occurs, that means that there is a seamless transfer. This is thoughts turning to things. That's what's happening. Thoughts turning to things. But thoughts can't turn to things if the things that you are creating are in this high-flying vibration and you're over here in disappointment. You're not going to get any thoughts turning to things under those conditions. Thoughts can't turn to things unless you're up here in the vibration of where the things that you're wanting and the thoughts that are about them are on the same vibrational level. You got to be up there where you can receive them in the same way that you would tune your radio dial in your vehicle. Can't set your radio dial on 98.7 and hear what's being broadcast on 101. In other words, the frequencies have to match up. And you can't have your dial set on disappointment while everything that you've created set on joy and ecstasy and appreciation and love, and have any transfer of thought. That's why you're disappointed. Who you really are is up here, and who you're being right now isn't, you see. So you got to find some way. You have to be creative about it. You got to find some way of being happy anyway. You got to stop needing something to change so that you can have a good feeling response to it. You got to figure out how to be happy before it happens. That's what we mean by getting out ahead of it. You have to get out ahead of it. And we know for sure that this knowledge, this understanding that you are gathering here and have gathered even before you got here, but that is being amplified with this conversation. We know for sure that your understanding of the processes that we are talking about, of the laws of the universe, will put you in a place of heightened expectation. And that's all that is required. Just a little shift in your expectation will make the difference between what manifests and how long it takes to manifest. So it sounds to you a little bit like we are eager for you to have manifestation of the things you want. We hear you say to us, Abraham, all right, I'll accept your version of the vortex. I can't see it or hear it or smell it or taste it or touch it, but I believe you, sort of. I'll accept that it's there, but just tell me, how can I get my money out of the vortex and into the bank? How do I turn those vibrations into thoughts and those thoughts into things? And we say, this is how. You find the feeling place of what you want. If you're wanting an extra $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 or $6 or $7 or $8 or $900,000 and you want it like right away, it's not likely that it's going to land in your bank account by the end of this gathering. But by the end of this gathering, you can have accomplished a feeling of prosperity. And if you can accomplish a feeling of prosperity by looking at the abundance that is evident in your life, both the financial abundance and the lifestyle abundance, and the ease abundance, and the clarity abundance, and the friendship abundance, and the magnificent planet abundance. In other words, there is so much abundance that you could focus upon, or you could just stop. And this is the thing that we want you to understand. What unconditional love and unconditional clarity and unconditional alignment, what they are all about It's much simpler than trying to find conditions that line up.